What's the chat, Larasha, to see if the chat was open. Okay. Okay, so it's back up. Okay, my bad, y'all. I don't know how that happened because that's not something that I do. I don't never have the setting set to you don't allow the chat. So, but again, they gonna blame it on Mercury retrograde. So it is what it is. Let me light this Palo Santo again, and then let me start talking about this shit on this paper because I ain't hit none of that in part one. But I just wanted to explain like the separation of what's going on right now with the government, and they doing it with the Supreme Court. Before they did it with the government, and now they doing it with the Supreme Court, because I feel like people gonna be trying to sue churches and go after churches and all types of shit getting ready to happen. Okay, all right, so we back. We gonna give some people some time to get in here so I can see, so y'all can see what's going on. Let me get in the chat. Let me get back into Goddess Queen and get out of what's the chat, Larasha. Hold on. Okay, so we got 48 in the chat. Why is the light, you see the lighting changing and shit? Why is it automatically going dark and I got all these motherfucking bright lights out here? This shit is ridiculous. Come on now, bro. They definitely is. You see how the background is darker now. Wow. Let me sip on my juice real quick, because this shit here is retarded, okay? Okay. Yeah, now it's freezing. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sure these motherfuckers is. They over here trying to sabotage shit like Susan owe me some motherfucking money. How about that? Pay me, run me my cash. That's what she needs to fucking do. Shit. Yes, you are, Sim Jim. You are a moderator. Anytime that your name lights up with the wrench and it's blue, that means that you are a moderator. He's like, I ain't never been picked before. It's okay. Oh, shoot. Oh. And then Divine Feminine living in the UK, she got the butterfly next to her, and her stuff is showing up green because she's selected as one of the memberships. She selected one of my memberships on this channel, and it gives you like the availability to do a lot of emojis, and you get shout out. So there's different tiers for that as well. Okay. Okay, so we got 70. So if anybody's interested in that, sign up for that too. Okay. You get exclusive videos that it will be just for y'all. I'm gonna do one of those either today or tomorrow for the members only. For anybody that has the membership, you will get they'll have access to exclusive videos and stuff by itself. Okay, so we got 7 in the chat. We got enough on here so I can start talking. And they changed I mean, like, I got 3 lights over here. For real. I got this light over here that's pointed over here. I got this light over here, right here. And then I got my ring light. Y'all can see the ring light in the reflection. So ain't no reason for my background to be that dark like that right now. Ain't no fucking reason at all. But again, it is what it is. That's UC sabotage to the fullest. Okay. Let me see if I can try to change the mode of the thing. Yeah, see, it's still dark. It's supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be lighter than that. It just dimmed down like we in the twilight zone in this bitch. Okay, it is what it is. It's Mercury retrograde. So whatever. I'm still unstoppable in this hoe. So okay, so let's get to this. Okay, so let's see. So the Book of Enoch. So the Book of Enoch, the version that they have now is not the created version. It was rewritten by one of the enemy's disciples just to cause confusion. So if anybody wrote because you still can't even find, you barely can find the copies of the ones that but it's been rewritten. I've read it. They're saying that information is not even the right information. They dumbed down that version of it as well. So that was another strike when it comes to Raw's contracts, and it was not Raw. So they also want me to say it was not Raw that did not abide by his contracts. It was the other bloodlines that did not abide by their contracts, and that's where the war started. Okay. Now again, if they would have never took the virgin out of the Bible, I don't think that, you know what, I ain't even gonna say that. No telling where we would be. But I know that was a big part of the contracts and the agreement, was for them to keep that part in the Bible. And I wonder if I can look it up. Let me see if it's gonna even tell me. When did they remove the book of Enoch in the Bible? When did they remove the book of Enoch in the Bible? By the 4th century? Oh, shit. Okay, so it says 4th century. It says by the 4th century, the book of Enoch was mostly excluded from Christian biblical canons. Biblical canons. Okay, so when was the fucking 4th? When is the 4th century? Wow. January the 1st, 301 AD, after the death. So after supposedly Jesus, aka Lucifer, passed away. And so it says this is when it was, the 4th century is that, considered as that decade. So you see what I'm saying? So now are y'all starting to understand why we've been in this war and these bloodlines been feuding since this long? Like, they fucked this shit up a long time ago, bro. Oh man, 4th century shit. I was hoping they was gonna say, when my ancestors was in shit and still in this bitch, like the Indians are, like my great-great-grandma part. But no, they removed that shit a long time ago. Now I see why he's so pissed off. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Now they got back brighter. Look at that shit. You see how that shit changed colors again, just like that? Oh, something to prove is playing in the background by Little Baby. Come through with the music, then. This shit is stupid. Hold on, y'all. I'm still reading something because I saw Constantine. Hold on. So timeline. It said 4th century. It says, warming in his new Christian role, Constantine summons more than 300 bishops. So that's when Constantine was around. Okay. They don't want to see us on TV unless it's the news. I got something to prove. No instruction, no talking about literally. I'll be walking on beats. They can't get rid of me. They tried. They exiled my ass for 3,000 years. But guess what, bitches? I'm back. Okay. Okay. So now let's get back to this. Okay. So let me get back to the chat so I can see what y'all saying. And I got my moderator, one of them that's in here in the chat. So Jim, just so you know, anytime that you see a person's name next to it and it has like release the comment, just click release it. I don't block anybody's comments out unless that they are, bullying anybody in the chat. If you're ever a moderator, I keep everything, I push everything, even if it's in there, because again, I don't give a damn shit. Them words that shit don't mean shit to me right now. Again, it's not our original language, so I don't even care about cuss words or any of that. I cuss a lot, okay, to prove to get my point across, right? Because sometimes you gotta use sometimes you gotta use certain cuss words to get your point across, okay? When a motherfucker know you ain't fucking playing, right? So just make sure you approve that. And if you see anybody ever get rowdy, there's now YouTube has a button where you can put somebody in timeout for 300 seconds. Okay. So just FYI. Okay. So we got 101 in the chat. So okay. So the book of Enoch was the first thing that's here. So I heard annihilist is an analyst. A nihilist is complete. So I heard a nihilist is complete. So again, remember, as gods and pharaohs, you're sitting here and then chosen people, you're sent here to view certain structures that are set out for the whole collective. So you are this secret spy, this secret agent in this matrix that we're in, to, you know, live by whatever the laws and rules that they have us under, and detect any flaws in their system, and then also detect the good things and like I said, the bad things, right? So I heard annihilist. I know I ain't saying that shit right. I was saying it right earlier. Is complete. Okay. Okay. So in what somebody asked me, somebody had asked me, yes, Jesus and Lucifer is the same person. Huh. So like I told you, now you're going to really understand why the government is removing themselves from religion, because that's going to be the biggest, ding ding, you see my phone just vibrate, that's going to be the biggest issue with these Christians and regular people. They're going to be pissed the fuck off. And now again, Lucifer and the devil energies is two different things. Okay? They took over Lucifer's energy and then created extra energies to control his bloodline, because remember, Lucifer created his bloodline after he fell. With the reason why he became a fallen angel is because he made a baby with Lilith. Okay? He decided to create his own race, and that was against aliens genetic existence. Okay? And they double crossed him, the Dracons and them, they double crossed him, killed him, took his energy. And again, that was one reason why Isis and Osiris created their movement to create their own child. You got to remember, they killed Osiris before Isis and Osiris was able to mate. They killed him to create the baby. Remember, the only part, they cut him up. They raped him. His man betrayed him. They raped him before they killed him. Threw his body out everywhere across the sea. And only part of his body that was not to be, that she didn't find, was his penis. Her and Anubis had to remold his penis to create Horus. So that's one reason why Horus was half, which is AKA Lucifer, when we tried to bring him back. So the whole point of the reason why the pharaohs got stuck here is because, again, we lost the second war with the Greys. And when we lost the second war with the Greys, with the reptilians and whoever else at that time, they already had their own civilization. At that time, that's when Ra broke his staff on the continents and split it up to separate his people from their side. And I'm going to say it just like that. It's going to be up to you to disclose what that shit means. Okay? Because at that time, they already had the dome up. They already had a field up. So when you pass away, you're supposed to bounce out of your body and you're supposed to go back to where you are. We can't do that. That's another thing that he's pissed off about. Right? I also have that written down here with the kids situation, and the reason why this shit going on with these kids. That was all a part of trapping our souls here and keeping us stuck as slaves. Because again, they did not want the gods and the pharaohs to go back. All contracts have been breached and broken. They did not abide by any contract since these days that they had set here. All the pharaohs' pyramids are scattered out because the pharaohs were meant to look over the new human society that was created. Not knowing that these motherfuckers had hidden agendas to keep these pharaohs stuck, to use their energy over and over and over, and their blood over and over and over and over and over, until they can make their species equal as the original species, which still is not, it's still there. Now they said it's still not there. Okay. So that's another thing that, like I told you, it's like everything that Ra told Lucifer is backfiring, but at the same time, now since you got to remember, like I told you, it's been a long time. Shit, dinosaurs came after the pharaohs, and they said dinosaurs been, what was it, 6 billion years ago? 6 billion years ago is when dinosaurs used to exist. So just imagine, as far as when it comes to time, everybody, we still don't know what time, what time, what century, whatever it is, because they have done so much to manipulate it. But if you try to go off of just the little shit that they taught you in school, you can, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to find out how long we've been here, right? And how long these wars have been going on. With everything now, there's species that are able to last, but there's some species, they just told me this, there's some species that's gonna get wiped away, and I don't know who they are. I hesitated to say that, but they made me say it, since I'm having this fucking, I feel like I'm having a mom talk to their kids right now about sex talk. You know, like I'm saying, I don't know how to explain this shit. That's how I fucking feel like right now. I'm having conversations about the birds and the bees and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and I don't think it's the Grays. I think it's gonna be I think the Giants was on their last leg, because they get used a lot for medical purposes. I'm not even gonna go into that right now. I'm not gonna even go into that right now. I don't even want to talk about that. I'll put a video for that later on. Okay, so now about the cross and the like, I'm tongue tied right now because they made me go think about like the species thing. See, and that's what people don't understand, why they holding Brittany Griner hostage, bro. She's this shit is making me tear up. She's a big key to giant and feminine energy, especially Amazon women. Okay. Okay. They holding that girl hostage for a reason. Just know that she was getting ready to activate. Now, are we gonna get the right one when she come back? That I don't know. You got to remember, they have been a lot of the wars, like the Iraq wars, the Afghanistan wars, those countries like that, they still got giants that exist in their caves and their mountains. And a lot of black ops have been porting giants by helicopter to area. It's not even areas, like it's more than one, like it's not just area 51. It's so many different areas that we have here in the United States now, right? It's so many of them now. But that has been something that they have been doing. There's a lot of whistleblowers that was in the military that talked about certain stuff. They got killed. There's some people that's still living, right? This just to try to put the message out there to talk about it. Okay. And if you understand the, like, it's not a lot of people in the United States that are tall. A lot of people that right now, from basketball players, it's coming from other countries. And that's noticeable. Especially for the ones of y'all that are sports freaks, like, right? And you watch sports, you pay attention. So it could be the giants, because again, anybody that's height 6 feet and above is giant energy. There's some that's giant / reptilian. Anybody that's like 5'8", 5'7", they said 5'7", 5'7" and above, 5'7", between 5'7" to 6, you have part of giant blood in you. And you have giant blood in 2 others, they said. Now, I don't know what the 2 others is. That would be up to you to decode it. It could be a lot of y'all could have reptilian, right? Are gray and Anunnaki. That's what I heard. The grays were able to adjust their height, is what I'm hearing. But the reptilians still have possession of their souls because the contracts that they made with them. Okay. All right, so let's go back to this cross in this Ankh thing. So they're saying that, so if y'all were watching What's the Chattelarasha, there in a recent video that I did, I was talking about Asia, about the land video. That was the video that says somebody took your land, okay? And you got some land that's somebody owe you some land and they ain't paid, they hiding it from you. So they made that, bring that to my attention about Asia. And then also there was an index card that came out, said you're gonna have to choose. Me at that time in that reading, I'm thinking it was about divine feminine and divine masculine having to choose between mates, right? But it was a deeper meaning than that. So with the cross in the Ankh situation, I know somebody had commented about like having me understand why you cannot mix both of them, because cross represents, it was created by Christians, which was pagans. It was Wicca and pagan energy that it was created. So for the ones of y'all that don't know what the Ankh represents the life, right? Life. This part of it is the woman's wound. This part of it right here is, it represents this creates a trinity, right? So it's the woman's wound. This right here is the baby. And then this right here is the masculine energy. When they created the cross, this is the reason why us women are disrespected. They cut this and created it straight down, right? So they removed out the feminine energy and just left masculine energy and a child's energy and removed the feminine's energy, so it automatically breaks the Trinity. It's also symbolizes, like, it helped it. When I was asking them certain things, which I understood it when I completely removed myself from the cross and I start going with the Ankh, I start getting frustrated because when I would drive a car, or if I would go in a building, or if anybody came up to me, they would have on a cross. And they said it has to do, the symbol also is like a soul catching symbol as well. So I don't know if some of y'all got frustrated, like if y'all ever get frustrated when you see somebody wear the cross or anything like that. It's like a situation, like, you know how, like, how can I explain this? I know how to understand it for myself, but it's kind of hard to explain it to y'all to get y'all to understand it. But for the ones of y'all that like watch Vampire in Brooklyn, like vampires, you know how like vampires is fucking it's like a thing for the cross is not good for vampires. And remember, vampires represents ancients, old originals, right? The people that was here first. So it's like it's a symbol that keeps you stuck in an illusion. Okay. And that fish one too, like the representation of Pisces. If you see that, and you start seeing that now in cars, when people buy cars, the manufacturers of cars, they don't put the cross on there anymore, but they'll use the representation of that little motherfucking fish, which is also another pagan symbol, right? As well. That shit also, it triggers me too if I see that and I'm driving and I'm driving on the highway and I just glance at it. I try to keep my eyes off of it as well, because it's like it's another thing, like it keeps you trapped. I keep hearing it just keeps you trapped. It keeps you trapped. There's certain symbols that if you see it, okay, so you know how like when you go see a therapist and the therapist be like, what are these designs over here? And it's a part of a brainwashing technique. Okay, now I'm talking the right language. It's a part of a brainwashing technique. It's a symbol, like a brainwashing technique. They thinking like when you go to a therapist, if anybody ever went to therapy or y'all saw any movies and they be like, what is the symbol over here? It's a brainwashing technique. Okay, it keeps you bonded. It keeps your soul trapped. It keeps you in illusion. It keeps you from allowing your higher soul and spirit. So it's like what do they call it when they resurrection? It's not a resurrection. Is it resurrection? What do they be saying when they be putting the damn cross to the vampires and they're like, It takes away your power. I cannot think about any of these words right now. Like, I'm getting a motherfucking brain fart right now, for real, and it's pissing me off. And I know I'm not using the right word. It's not resurrection, but it's, resurrect, like repels. Okay, repel, rebuke. Let's do, yeah, there you go. Those two are words. Repel you. I repel you. It's like a repelling technique, okay? So it's like they're stopping your powers from rising up. So every time you see it, it's like okay, now they're showing me Man in Black. You know how he put up that motherfucking flash and it flashes you and it wipes out your memory and then it stops your process of transformation. And so it's like it's like a reset. There we go. It resets you every fucking time. Every time you see that bitch, it's a reset. There you go. Thank you, Man in Black. Thank you, Will Smith, for coming in this bitch. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So it's like a reset. Okay. That's what that shit is. So that's the hidden agenda behind it. Okay. Bro, that shit took for a while for me to get it. And my ancestors said, don't worry about it, Rasha. We finna send you some visions to help you understand and say certain shit. So that's what that shit does. Okay. But the cross does represent death. And guess what? It's not death to all people, it's death to feminine. That's the hidden agenda behind it. You got to remember, in the Bible, they already tell you the woman has to obey the man. It was never supposed to be that. Never was supposed to be that. Because the only one that can bring in life is a woman. Okay? So, the ones of them that have a cross and an ankh, they don't understand. You're still allowing your soul to be trapped because you're not understanding the difference. There was supposed to be a difference between spirituality and a difference between religion. You can't be using both. And this is where they're saying you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to be religious. And remember, Doreen Virtue went back to religion because Doreen Virtue understands everything that she was saying does not have to do anything with her people. And she was somebody, if you look in her cards, in her deck, she never put black people in her decks. Pay attention. Okay. This is another thing that they brought to my attention was like, well, damn, why? Like they continue to keep this brainwashing technique, right? And I had to understand that. Okay. So when I got into tarot, I knew and I paid attention to the cards. I was like, why don't they have other races? Okay. We all know that there's other races that exist in this shit. So why are these people not making decks that, if we're really supposed to be this unity thing, why are they not creating decks that has every color? The reason why I did this deck is because my people don't know that this was you before anybody else. So again, I made this deck. It's a whole Manila deck because we don't have Manila decks out there. Point blank, period. Right? So me, a part of my spiritual awakening, that's one reason why I created this deck to break the illusion that they have had us in. Michael Jackson tried to do that, right? Prince tried to do that, and they took Prince out with his. Prince was trying to get the pharaohs and his people and the man to understand that they needed a woman and they needed to be honest about their spirituality, regardless if they was a pharaoh or a god that got programmed to be bisexual or be straight. It was nothing wrong with who you are, because at the end of the day, as long as you're living your true self, you're still going to get your powers. And he knew that. Okay. So this is where, like I said, it's an imbalance with the system. Everything that they have done is backfiring on them. And so you're going to have to choose. I heard whenever I was doing what's the chat of Larasha, and I was talking about these kids getting sacrificed, and I told you I wrote down on a paper that kids was witches too, and they were all a part of the witch trials, and a lot of them reincarnated over, and they living in these souls. I also at that time had on there that says the cross is not going to save you, and it was underneath that part. It says so with that, when I got those downloaded messages, I made sure that I removed every cross symbol, regardless if it was an earring, a t-shirt, a Bible. I removed all that shit out of my house. Because they said whenever when the energy starts switching, that's going to be a doorway to allow these dignities to come in. Regardless of how many rocks and crystals you got in your motherfucking house, and if you got that shit in your house and whatever, it's gonna be it's a portal. They also have it right now that it's set up for a portal. Okay, so I removed all mine. So again, you got to remember China. What was it? I don't know if this happened during China. It was during Trump's thing. China completely start tearing down their churches and burning their Bibles, because again, United States, we're behind. Okay, it's set up for you to be behind, because again, all the gods and the pharaohs is in the United States. At the end of the day, the Africans even know that. They getting ready to get prosecuted for the false bullshit with Kemet. Is I also heard that shit. So you could be seeing a lot of African actors getting sick and dying. Or you could see a lot of stuff happening with Africa because he's pissed off with them too. But again, that was the Moors came over here as an illusion and a distraction to get my people to persuade them to make these pacts with the Europeans and the Spaniards, because they were dark skinned. We were still lighter than them, but they were our color skin. Okay. So they're getting ready to get prosecuted, is what I heard. So it's getting ready to be a lot of shit that's getting ready to happen. Okay. Because they used them to experiment on us to help understand who we are. And then they took our whole identity and made it their own. Again, that Pan-African movement shit. They getting ready to any person that is pushing a Pan-African agenda, they getting ready to get dealt with, is what I heard. Like, there's no mercy is what they're getting ready to do. So it's a lot of stuff that's getting ready to happen with a lot of different, and I'm not just saying that all indigenous black people is good. I ain't saying that shit. No, I ain't gonna say that, but I do know that they have to start somewhere. It's gonna be all species and all races getting ready to get evaluated, and depending on how you use your free will is gonna determine if you're gonna be living or if you're gonna get banished. Okay. So it says the witch trials and pagan and Wicca energies. Now this shit, okay, I have never in my day studied paganism or Wicca, Wiccan. Is Wicca and Wiccan the same thing? I don't know. See, so that's where I'm saying I'm gonna need y'all to help me understand that shit, because when I sit there and try to learn any of that shit be pissing me off, because I already know the hidden agenda behind it, right? But a lot of stuff that's going on with these kids and these sacrifices has to do with the witch trials, the paganism, because paganism and the witch trials is already blood sacrifices. When they were sacrificing these women, these men, and these kids. It was not just women that was getting sacrificed and getting burned at a stake, right? And you got to remember, they burned them on crosses. That's another thing that they did. They burned them on crosses. So it brought another fucking type of energy. Okay? You got to remember, back in those days, that Christianity till this day has the highest amount of killing people. So it ain't no fucking army. It ain't no fucking military. It ain't no gun wars and violence. It's Christianity has the most deaths when it comes to the whole collective. So what is it that you worshiping? Right? So like I told you, it's gonna be where you're gonna really have to sit there and choose, and you really gonna have to, like I told people a while ago, I said it's time for y'all to start questioning your pastors. And and like I said, at the end of the day, you the one that supply them to keep their business and establishments going. And every motherfucking dime that they get to you, they break it off to the Vatican, because that's who they run by. So it's going to be up to the people that's in these churches to start questioning these pastors and watch their body language. You learn love language with your masculine and your feminine, right? Watch their body language when you sit here and you ask them these questions. And see if they skip over answering any of them. You got to remember, in order for you to be a pastor back in the day, you had to go through a whole fucking school education system. They don't do it now, but they still teach them through some training and shit. But before, it was a college credit that you had to go by in order to learn all the ins and out of being a pastor. They lifted that because they had enough, right? They had enough to do whatever the fuck they needed to do by then. Okay. So the Sumerian civilization will be brought back. So in the Sumerian civilization, Mesopotamia, whatever the fuck that shit is called. Okay. Again, this is when Ra struck his staff and broke his staff and split up the continents and the countries. Right. Sumerians civilization was already in establishment. They was already in existence. It's just the water divided the originals and them. They keep telling me to say them. Okay. And Sumerian, you know that they were half man and half animal. The reason why they needed the pharaoh's bloodline was to make them completely non-detected that they were animals. They come from an animal bloodline so they can look just human. Okay. Remember in circuses, there was a lot of people that had tails, which they said there's still people that do. When they born, they still got them, and the hospitals are removing them. There's still places that still have those type of births, is what I'm hearing right now while I'm saying this. So they really never got the chance to cover it up, right? To an extent. So with the Sumerian civilization, on that post, I mentioned that a lot of people's DNA is not aligned the proper way. And it's going to trigger them to activate to their DNA activation. And this is not just one color. Even my people, that's my color. Some of them could have more of their animal DNA activated. And you're going to start seeing these people changing to animal characteristics. Right? So that's why I said there's not one race that's safe right now. Because it's too much shit that's been going on. With the animals, you got to remember animals are aggressive. So that's where it's going to bring a lot of violence to humans because they're not going to understand what's going on with these humans. Remember, animals commit suicide too. Oh, shit. So the suicide thing could go up, which would also be a part of violence. I guess it's not going to be physical. It's going to be physical violence, but it's going to be some suicidal stuff because animals commit suicide. So you could see people running in front of cars. I'm just getting visions of people running in front of cars, people drowning themselves. Can all animals swim? Oh, here we go. Let me get on Google real quick because I don't even know. Can all animals swim? Shit. Can all animals swim? There are more than 8 million animal species in the world, but only a few animals cannot swim. Chimpanzees, gorillas. Wait. Hold on. I hope I'm reading this shit right. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm reading this shit right. So it says, let me go back to it. It says chimpanzees, gorillas, tortoises, hippos, and giraffes can't swim mainly because of their physical structure. Unlike hippos, all of them avoid going into deep water since the consequences of not being able to swim can be fatal. Ain't that about a bitch? There go half of the animals that they've been experimenting on DNA, genetic human DNA codes right there. Mm, 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 mm. Chimpanzees cannot and gorillas can't swim for real? Oh, bro. I had no clue about that. Chimpanzees share a lot of DNA sequences with humans, and they are our closest extinct relative. Yeah, we are that. Yeah, not all. Not now. Now that is a certain species. I'm gonna say that together with baboons. They are not natural born swimmers. Mm, mm, mm. There could be people that could get on a boat and just like throw themselves off, like drive all, drive to the middle of the motherfucking water and just start throwing themselves off the fucking boats. Mm, mm, mm. This shit here is crazy. Mm, mm, mm. I don't even think if you teach your kids to even if they like, even if the ones that know how to swim right now is humans, if they automatically, it's like a light switch. If they get switched back to animal DNA, they going back to all animal characteristics. Everything that they learned as a human is going to be washed away like it never existed. And I think they showed that on Stargate too. There was a season on Stargate where they went to like a portal, and at first everybody was humans, and then next you know, they start like changing to like all these animals, and they was like, help me, and crawling all over the place, and people was eating each other, and it was a lot of shit going on in that episode of Stargate. I need to see if I can sit there and watch it again. If I got the whole CD over here in DVD. I bought that shit. My ancestors made me buy the whole, like get the whole season 1 and season 2 of Stargate. Maybe it's time for me to rewatch that shit. Mm, mm, mm. And remember, tortoises is old. Those are all ancient animals. Especially hippos. We already know hippos is one of the fucking pharaohs. And that's crazy. Whoever that was that told me to watch Moon Knight, thank you. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm glad that Marvel start talking about the Egyptian gods, because they know we waking up and they know it's time. So that was that for Marvel to do that, it's interesting for them to talk about Egyptian gods and stuff instead of doing the fake shit that they have created. They're actually talking about real pharaoh gods, right? And I don't think a lot of people know about that TV series that they just created. It's called Moon Knight. If anybody want to watch it. I'm looking over y'all's comments. Bro, this shit over here is crazy. Okay. So that's getting ready to go back. I know I have seen couple of videos like on Facebook, like where it was one lady that completely transformed to a motherfucking horse. And she said that she was a horse species and she was running on motherfucking four legs fast than a bitch. Well, I can't say four legs. She changed her hand to make it a four legs. Her hands went to motherfucking legs and she was galloping in this bitch. I have seen like a lot of people where they gotta live in dog cages because they said they got dog DNA, so they start living in dog cages. There's some people that I saw that like completely had bodysuits of dogs. So it's not like this shit is not happening. It's just a lot of us choose not to pay attention to it, or a lot of y'all don't know about it. And then when you do watch it and you see it like me, you over there like, I can't unsee that shit. It can't go. You can't go, like there's a lot of shit going on. Okay. A lot of shit. You probably going to even understand why certain people have sex with animals, because they could already have that animal DNA in them that's activated at that time. Oh my goodness. Like, oh my goodness. We going to really be in Twilight. I'm going to be Mr. Squidward in this bitch. Not Mr. Squidward. What is his fucking name? Squidward is his neighbor. What is Mr. Krabs when he was in the middle of everybody and he was dazed as motherfucker? That's how I feel like right now. Okay, so that's what that means. And then pigs. So Sumerian civilization is gonna come back. It's not going to be something that they can hide because we got too much fucking technology and cameras and people can just pull out their phone and record shit. So is going to be a lot of videos that's going to go up. Maybe there probably will be glitches in the internet and all that shit, like where, they try to stop everybody's video going down or try to make people have power outages. That could be another reason why that power outage card came out in the treasure box. Because they could try to do that to stop people from disclosing, and taking it from city to state to country to county to wise. Because again, you got computers in your fucking pockets. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a backfiring situation for them as well. Okay. It says religion is well aware of what's going on and the government, and that's why the government removed themselves. So again, y'all pay attention to what's going on with the government, with the separation of state and church. They have stuff that's going on right now with the Supreme Court. Okay. It said, I talked about it. It says, remove crosses from homes. Cross is a possession tool. It says food, hidden agenda. Okay. Chicken, dairy, pork will be reversed. Okay. So why I wrote that down. So remember, WIC is getting ready. Okay. So, there's a shortage on baby formula right now, right? And you know that a lot of people get their baby formula for their children through WIC, the program WIC. If you remember when you was a kid, I don't know, I ain't been in the WIC office in forever. My youngest child right now is 12, so I don't know what they got in their WIC office now. But they used to have like the food chart. And when you learned the food chart, it was in a pyramid. They had it set up in a pyramid. Oh shit, I just knocked off one of my butterflies. They used to have it set up as a pyramid, right? That was a way to keep people stuck, and then also a way to provide them with certain foods that you were not supposed to be eating. From when we was a kid, like now, when we was a kid, they told us we had to have milk, 3 times a day, 3 to 4 times a day. Now they don't even tell people to drink milk anymore. So you just think about a lot of shit that they have already done to your body. The more that they sit there and try to cover up the shit that they already did, right? So everything has to do with a pyramid. Like the way that they hold energies, they always set up anything that they teach us or anything that they give us is always put in a pyramid, because the pyramid holds a certain energy of, again, the original people. Okay, so chicken. So you remember when they came over here, our ancestors, the only meat that they ate was buffalo. Then they gave them chicken and made them start eating turkey and pork. Pork is a certain race. So it's a part of making you a cannibal undetected, and cause species and soul wars. Okay. Pork is also a way that they can keep you having viruses and diseases, and shrimp bottom feeders too. Okay. They're shooting them up with certain things before they give it to you. Or they like putting it in like a bowl, like a big old fucking thing, and washing it with the shit, the chemicals, and then they'll sell it to you, right? Of all they fucking Wicca technique of magic that they have in these chemicals. That's on the labels of the foods and all that shit, in your water, and all that stuff. It's all magic. Chicken was given to my people to keep magic on you, because it's used in hoodoo and voodoo. So it was a technique to keep you stuck and slow. But they're saying, my ancestors saying, so everything that they tried to do to like keep you tracked when it comes to food is getting ready to be reversed. That could also be the reason why there's a shortage on chicken right now, because they are trying to. That could be the reason why there's a shortage on chicken. And now the government already like got approved to start cloning meat, feeding you clone meat. But that's what it says. It says chicken, dairy, and pork will be reversed. So everything that they would do is like it's going to be returned back to sender. They're seeing that their magic is not holding and affecting you the way that it used to. Whew. Bro. Next on here it says, I'm going to help get my sons back, including Lucifer. Why TV series is being shown. There was never supposed to be women left without a man. So what I got from that was that Ra is getting ready to he's not looking at Lucifer as bad. Like, again, they used to have this blood war, bad vibes against each other. Now he's seeing that he has to get his son back. So when he says my sons, Lucifer's included in his son, which is his real son, but he's also talking about all the other pharaohs. So this is where I think like I told you, right now there's more women than men, and half of these men are down low and they're gay. So it breaks up the Trinity, which again, the cross is already a part of fucking up the energy of that already. So whatever he's getting ready to do, I mentioned this shit last year when I said, or the beginning of this year, I said there's going to be some people that are gay or they're bisexual, and they're going to completely switch out of no fucking where. I don't know when that shit is going to happen. I don't know, but I feel like that has to do with that energy. And I'm not saying for the women, but I feel like they're going to crackle down on these men, because if the rate that we keep going, nobody is going to exist. And then let's just say if they start taking away these centers where you can go have these, where they have these sperm banks and shit, if those shit start getting shut down, there's no way a couple of a man can go get, and the egg places get shut down. there's no place where you can go get that type of service. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like they getting ready to crack down on that shit too. So if we start getting this shut down, if we go to martial law, because they're getting ready to put another motherfucking virus out there, I feel like it's gonna shut down everything. So people ain't gonna be able to go, you know, get help with creating a child and all that. Like, they're getting ready to start doing a lot of shit. Like, there was a lot of there, and then I heard, and I hate to say that, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it. When I was talking about that, about like them shutting down these clinics, they said that there was some women and men that were not supposed to even have children. And the way that the elite and the people that created these businesses was trying to play as gods, and it fucked up some shit too. So I don't know if it's a lot of people that do that and these kids are getting affected, because there could be a lot of molestation going undetected. That's another thing. I always wonder that, right? That's the biggest thing that crosses my head when I see same-sex relationships, and I don't have nothing against them. It's just, but that always pops in my head. How are these kids mind frame in these houses? I don't know why. Okay, it's something that can't go. You cannot question that. You cannot question what's really happening to these kids. And I'm not saying that all same-sex relationships, these people are bad. I'm not saying that, but I'm sure that there's a lot of shit that goes on from the time from a person is a baby in their diapers where they can't remember what's going on to the time that they have the availability to start speaking and talking, right? And that's another thing that they said, that a lot of molestation happens from when a child is in Pampers until they can physically start talking and saying whole sentences to say, I've been touched. So these people, when it comes to pedophiles and all that stuff, they get smarter. There's a lot of it that I heard that a lot of these people, these pedophiles, do magic to affect these kids from telling. They got real creative on what they were doing to keep it unnoticed and detected, especially if it's done in the church. It's not to be talked about. That's another flag for them. Yeah, so I feel like there's getting ready to be some changes with companies and ways that they're able to produce children, and like it's finna be like a whip. I don't know why I feel like the whip is getting ready to come out. Okay, when it comes to a lot of stuff. Okay, that's into that. Okay, so Asia. So when I was talking about Asia, there's getting ready to be, okay, so if I'm right, I know South Korea and North Korea used to be a whole. Is that correct? And then finally there was something that happened with them that made them split it up to me in South Korea and North Korea. I heard South Korea is getting ready to abide by the ancient laws because they know that the gods and the pharaohs are up and it's time for them to take action. So I don't know if North Korea is going to, follow the chain or follow the pursuit with them on that. I heard South Korea, North Korea, and Japan. But I heard South Korea is going to be the one that's going to change because it has something to do with their symbol of their flag. And when I kept asking about their flag, I was like, the first thing that they showed me was like, what popped in my head was the Karate Kid. But I know the Karate Kid is based off of Japanese, right? But it has something to do with this. The Karate Kid's symbol that he wore is kind of like a representation of South Korea's symbol, is what I heard. Mr. Miyagi was a big influence. He was also gray. He was a spy. And then also that guy named Ken. He's from South Korea. He's also a original for his people as well. And a lot of his new movies is going to be like awareness of an awakening. Is that what he's getting switched to do? Even though he was born here in the United States, his ethnicity is still South Korea. What is his name? Ken, the one that played in Hangover. Him. So even if and what I heard was, even if they're born in the United States and they have a different ethnicity, they could be still gods and pharaohs for their ethnicity. And they can still be like a same spy that's paying attention on what's going on with the gods in the United States and the pharaohs in the United States, because we all are a mixture, right? And that's the reason why it has this rumble in the jungle energy, and I'm going to just say rumble in the jungle. I ain't going to say Royal Rumble, but rumble in the jungle energy when it comes to species. Even though you are walking around as a human, you are still a spy for your species. Yeah, Ken, what is his name? Ken, Jeong. Him, the guy from Hangovers. And I think that right now he is I start watching that new Michael, what is his name? Austin Powers. What is his name? Him. He got a new TV series on Netflix where it just came out on May the 5th. So a lot of y'all probably don't even know it's there. And he talks about a lot of conspiracies, and he's talking about secret societies, and that Ken guy is in there. I haven't finished that. I stopped some of it, but it was interesting to watch that. Michael Myers. Yeah, that's crazy because I was talking about fucking Mike Myers, but I was talking about Michael Myers and What's the Chatter. So Mike Myers, him, he has a new TV series called let me look it up. Yeah, there you go. Nella Billa. She just said it. I can't pronounce that word, but that's what it is. That TV series, y'all should check that out, because he talks about Canada. And what was so crazy about it, so when I was asking about this women stuff, so I know South Korea is getting ready to take some action. So you got to remember, Asia is connected to Russia. And then you got South Korea and North Korea and Japan over here in the water. And Russia and stuff is up here. And Asia is over here. So they getting ready to take some moment. Now, I don't know if they getting ready to join the United States and trying to take Russia down. But I just heard that they're getting ready to go by their ancient laws. And you got to remember, South Korea has the oldest temple of Buddhism, which they really don't got the oldest temple. The Grand Canyon got the oldest temple of Buddhism, but a lot of people don't know that. But when it comes to history, that this document that they gave us, South Korea has the oldest Buddhism. But Buddha originally comes from the Grand Canyon. His temple, Isis, my temple, Osiris's, and Ra's temple is in the Grand Canyon. Well, shit, not Isis. Well, there's another temple in Grand Canyon, but Isis's temple is the Hoover's Dam, and that's the reason why it's built on the motherfucking water. Cause That shit pisses me off. Roosevelt, bro, bitch ass. Anyway, um, so if they're getting ready to escalate, you know, they have a whole type of different system, the way that they go abide by their laws and what all they do as far as when it comes to their fighting techniques and how they run stuff. So that's what I heard. So it's South Korea, North Korea, and Japan could be getting ready to take action in this war. One of them, two of them, or three of them could. And when they do that, it could push Honduras to take part of it too, which is it's on a. I heard Honduras, and I heard. Let me make sure I say this fucking shit right, because I don't want to. I don't want to mess it up. Let me look at the map. I have to look at the map because I don't want to mess up the name. So I can tell you which countries are. Okay, so the Philippines. It was the Philippines and Hong Kong. And Hong Kong has been silent. Like, you don't hear that much about Hong Kong anymore. So no telling what they got cooking up and stuff. So if once South Korea moves, I think the other ones will move. And then what falls after that, I heard Persia. So there could be a lot of wars that's getting ready to happen. Whew, shit. And we all know them motherfuckers don't play at all, at all. Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay, so Japan, North Korea, South Korea, the Philippines, and Hong Kong. And Persia, which that's not even over there. I don't think Persia is even over there. Persia is somewhere else. Ain't it somewhere else? Why are they saying Persia? Persia. Because Persia is still a dynasty. So they will abide by ancient rules too. And remember, Rome and Persia is, they don't abide by, they don't go by the same like the same codes at all, even though that they're right next to each other. So I feel like there's gonna be a lot of battles on water. I think it's gonna first start off on water, just so it can be like this. Remember the Titans, like the Titans energy. I don't know why. I think it's gonna bring up some type of Titan energy. And this could also be when they'll start using like the geostorm machines and shit too. Okay. Um Dang, I was gonna say something. Okay, so let me go back to here. Maybe it'll come back. So it says kids was never supposed to be sacrificed, but he understands the evil souls and spirits. It says okay, so it says kids was never supposed to be sacrificed, but he understands the evil souls and spirits because again, we're in this fucking dome. So he knows that everybody is not getting, not the bad ones are not getting washed away either. They're able to reincarnate because of the energies and how they took over the keys of life. He says, so it's keeping everybody stuck. So I guess he's halfway in for this, I guess he's halfway in for like the sacrifices for these kids, because let's say if these, and I'm just gonna put it out there, some of these kids is not kids. And like I told y'all that there was gonna be some people, some babysitters, or their own parents taking out some kids because they either possessed and they know that, or like I said, in that parent or that babysitter or whoever the family members third eye opens up and they see them for who they are, and they get like, y'all seen the TV, if for the ones of y'all that seen the TV series Travelers, like they're gonna get like activations like the TV series Travelers, where they have to start completing certain missions to do certain things. I don't want to hear anything that has to do with kids because it's a touchy subject, because you don't want to think that there's you giving birth to a child and the child was out to get you, right? But that's not going to be everybody's situation. Everybody's situation is not something that they have to go through like that, right? It's certain people that have those type of situations, and it's going to be up to them if that's part of their contract and their role that they have to take, right? Everybody is not going to be put in that situation, but there is some that's going to be put in that situation where they're going to do that. There was one girl that sent me like a video on Instagram. She sent me a video, and it was a lady that, it was a church that was in California that was already doing this. And it was an incident that happened last year in September, where it was a 3-year-old girl, and it was like 7 people that was trying to, they had her in the back of a church, and they were trying to, exorcise the demons out of her, and they couldn't. And the little girl ended up dying, and the mother got on video. She had a 43-minute video, and then she explained everything. She said, I'm not upset. I'm not in no regret. She said, I know what was going on. People are not going to understand why I did what I did. And it was already a church that was doing it. Like they had the same situation where it was a church member that took a baby that I think they said the baby was 3 months, and they ended up killing the baby because there's already, and then the man that was like the news person, he said, we don't hear anything. This is something that's this is something that usually doesn't happen in the United States. Bullshit. They doing this shit all the time, homie. Where do you think all these missing kids is doing when it comes to these rituals and these sacrifices, right? But this is a different type of ritual and sacrifice. It's not like they kidnapping these kids and they doing these blood sacrifice. These are kids that have something inside of them, and they know what's going on because these churches, or whoever these societies are, have learned the technique, or learn, how to decode what type of dignities or demons that are inside of these kids, right? So like I told you, everybody, we all got different roles. We all got different situations when it comes to our purposes. So it's kind of, it's a touchy subject to talk about, but at the same time, it's like, well, shit. You know, you all you can say is, I'm glad I was not put in that position, right? Like, cause when you see some shit like that, you all you have to say, I'm glad that I'm not put in that position. I'm glad I was not the one that signed myself up for a contract like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I understand if there's some people that do have soul contracts that they signed up for, right? And you just not one of those people. So that's why I said some people are gonna have to really understand how to, and I don't like to say turn a blind eye, but you're just gonna have to know that there's some shit that's gonna be happening that you possibly ain't gonna agree with or you ain't gonna like seeing, but it's meant to happen. So it's just crazy to me. Like everything that's happening is just like, I ain't never imagined to be stuck in a system like this. When I had my spiritual, I was just like, bro, these motherfuckers got us in slavery for real. They turned this bitch up a notch to make it feel like you was really free. And your ass ain't free from shit. These motherfuckers is poisonous. Like that is a hard pill to swallow. And you have to go day by day knowing that something that you eat and you drink or even the clothes that you put on contain some type of chemical, right? The soap, the what you wash your hair with, you know, everything is contaminated in some type of shape and form. And that's like where you just like, damn, this is really the world that we living in. And a lot of people right now, I think they just don't know. They don't know. Some people know and some people don't. Some people choose to not even pay attention to it. It just makes you understand how real this shit is, right? And I told y'all Easter was gonna bring a whole nother fucking energy. I just knew it was. I knew it was. And then Mother's Day, it just seemed off. Like I don't even celebrate. Like I don't even only thing I celebrate is birthdays. That's it. I don't even tell my kids to buy me from nothing for mother. We ain't doing Mother's Day. We ain't. I don't tell my kids nothing for Mother's Day. I just abide by birthdays. That's the I could tell. I know when your ass was born. You know what I'm saying? So this is the day that you was born. We gonna celebrate that. That's a fact to me. Everything else is made up. I don't know why they chose that month, that date for that holiday to be that day. You know, some of it is they tell you about it if you read about it, but still, it's just like I don't abide by that, right? Um, Shit, Mother's Day could have been in fucking July, you know, or in March. You know what I'm saying? Why did they pick May and June for Father's Day and Mother's Day, right? Like, why couldn't it be another month or another day? Why does it have to be these days? What type of energy is really set for these days? So, let's see. Let me go into the chat and see. Yeah, I think they should stop everything but birthdays. Stop everything but birthdays. Everything else needs to be explained why they did it. And then it's there, it's in Google. If you want to go fucking read about it, you can read about it. They explain why they created everything. But again, people will say, well, we made and changed the holiday to represent something else. No, it still stands by the original agenda of the energy, because again, the letters and the words is created in witch magic and energy. I don't care how many times you try to represent it and try to change it to a family situation. It's still energies and letters and words and dates and months. And it's the truth. So I don't like arguing with people when it comes to that shit. I just be looking at them like I learned to be quiet. Don't say nothing. Be quiet. Just let people do what they want to do. Try to explain it to my kid. Mouth dropped so motherfucking fast. She said, "What?" She said, "Oh no." She was like, "Oh no." And you got to remember, these kids is not kids. They old souls. Like, all my kids got old souls. So that's why I said, you got to remember, these kids is not, a lot of these kids know a lot of stuff, right? And that's one reason why they use kids as pawns in a lot of things. And a lot of these kids are already woke. They come in here already woke. You come into this world already woke. They give you these vaccinations to keep you quiet and slow you down, right? You didn't need none of that shit. Shit, you ain't even supposed to be laying on your motherfucking back to give childbirth. You supposed to be standing up, right? So they changed that whole energy of how a baby comes in this bitch. You ain't even supposed to cut the baby's umbilical cord off. It's supposed to fall off by itself with the sack. So they changing everything to fuck you up automatically when it comes to the regular process of life. So just imagine all the things that you have taught that you was not really supposed to even go down that path or that journey, because somebody created a system, a program, a process to change the original. China, I don't know about China, but I know South Korea getting ready to do something. Shit, they kept saying South Korea because it has to do, it's part of Asia. Like, it's all that shit is part of Asia. I don't know about China. Now, if China does something, then you already know. Shit. I don't know. Maybe one, it takes one. Like I said, it's one person, and then it's a domino effect. Yeah, spells to age you faster. I'm scared to have a baby. Shoot, I'm like, oh no, I don't need one of these motherfuckers to flash on me on some shit. No, I don't want none of that to be happening. I don't want none of that to happen. I don't need no baby program to take me out. Shit, I have an eye on all four of the ones that I got now. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through that shit again. Cause that opens up your heart chakra a whole different way, right? And and it makes me think about that movie. What was that movie called? With, it was not, was it Omar Epps? Not, was it Omar Epps? What was that movie where, like, he was with that girl and she was pregnant and the mama ended up being a zombie, and then they had to cut the baby out of her, and then the baby was a zombie and he wouldn't let nobody touch the baby, and he was willing to kill people if they was trying to, kill the wife was already dead, but the baby. What is that movie called? Was it called The Walking Dead? Or I don't, it's like one of those movies. Like, I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to be put in a position like that. 28 days later. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead. It's one of them motherfucking, I think it's Dawn of the Dead. Or is it 28 days later is the vampire movie? I think. They were trapped in the mall. Yeah, whatever movie that is, they were trapped in the mall. Yeah, that movie. That's when I think about that shit. That shit like that. Those type of situations. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead. I don't want to be one of those parents. I don't want to have to go through that shit. So it was not Omar Epps. It was the other one, Mekhi Phifer. Here you go, Mekhi Phifer. His ass. What happened to that dude? Where is he at? I ain't seen him in nothing. I don't think he got any movies. But let me get off of here. I just noticed I've been on here for 90 minutes. This is the longest I ever been talking. And then I'm going to regroup, and then I'm going to do Taurus's birthday reading and all that today, too. I need to do Taurus's birthday reading. I don't have any more index cards. I have to get some more index cards to do some new names. So I only was able to do 151 new names. So we got a total of 2022, which is the year, as far as when it comes to total index cards, okay? But I love y'all. Again, y'all be safe. Pay attention. If y'all see anything, hear anything, write that shit down. If you see stuff, get your phone out quick and record that shit. Because I feel like this is going to be this is getting ready to be a technology phase where people going to be really using their cell phones and stuff to either research or to like record. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be doing a lot of researching and a lot of recording, and that's going to be a download that everybody's going to get ready to get. Okay, so I'll talk to y'all later, and y'all be safe.